Don't let the makeup fool you. This guy ain't clowning around. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest Joker moments. For this list, we're looking at some of the most unnerving and memorably dark Joker moments from film, television, and video games. Despite his larger-than-life antics and colorful garb, this Batman rogue is among the most diabolical villains of any medium. And these terrifying scenes really hammer home why the Clown Prince of Crime inspires such fear. Please note, we will not be including moments from the comics because they warrant a list of their own. Also, spoiler alert.
Wanna know how I got these scars? Well, I'm the Joker, baby!
Number 10. Send in the Clowns. Joker.
Don't ignore him. He's being nice to you.
This scene from the 2019 Joker film begins with Arthur Fleck acting in self-defense, but it's also the moment in which the Joker is born. His first act of violence serving as an awakening of sorts. 3 employees of Wayne Enterprises, who have been harassing a woman on the subway, turn their attention to Arthur when he has a fit of uncontrollable laughter. One of them begins to sing "Send in the Clowns" in an intimidating fashion, but it's Arthur who gives them all a real lesson in fear. He guns down 2 of the 3 men, prompting the third to flee. Implacable, Arthur stalks the man down and finishes him off. And as his post-murder dance suggests, Fleck feels great about the encounter. Number 9. A visit to Carl Grissom. Batman.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
Before Joel Schumacher took the franchise in an overtly campy direction, Tim Burton brought Gotham City to life on the big screen in a way that was at once over-the-top and theatrical, but nonetheless dark. While Jack Nicholson's version of the Joker strikes a similar balance, his grand unveiling as the Clown Prince of Crime decidedly tilts in favor of scary. Emerging from the elevator, he's obscured in shadow, a sinister silhouette. And though crime boss Carl Grissom tries to play nice, the newly christened Joker ain't having it. He switches between quiet malice and sudden outbursts of anger before revealing his twisted new look and taking Carl's life. It's a reintroduction to Gotham fit for a prince.
What a day.
Number 8. The Last Laugh. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
For once, I'm stuck without a punchline.
Held in high esteem by die-hard fans of the Caped Crusader, but largely forgotten by the masses, this 1993 film is a continuation of Batman the Animated Series. Joker doesn't serve as the film's primary antagonist. That honor goes to the mysterious Phantasm, but it's ultimately Joker who gets the last laugh in this harrowing scene. With the world of the future fair exploding around him and his fate in the hands of a woman consumed by vengeance, Joker lets out a spine-chilling cackle. He's missing a tooth, he's bloody, and for once, he's poised to become the victim. But at the same moment, he is reveling in having destroyed a life. It's the sort of chaos he lives for. Number 7. Jerome's Confession. Gotham. Gotham was a series that divided Batman fans, but for all its shortcomings, it definitely succeeded in crafting a memorable character out of Jerome Valeska. As proto-Joker rather than the real deal, Valeska very well could have wound up feeling like a pale imitation. But actor Cameron Monaghan elevated the character, arguably above all other villains on the show. Despite many memorable moments, the scene in which Jerome first revealed his true nature remains the most chilling. In a split second, he goes from crying over his mother to maniacally laughing and confessing to having killed her.
Oh, it's very funny.
It's a great performance, one that earns itself a place on our list. Proto-Joker label be damned.
Why did you kill your mother, Jerome?
Oh, you know how mothers are. She just kept pushing.
Number 6. Telling the story of his scars. The Dark Knight.
Well, you look nervous. Is it the scars?
This is technically a few different moments, but while each twisted story is creepy in its own right, it's really the cumulative effect of these conflicting narratives that leaves a lasting impression.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Throughout the film, Heath Ledger's Joker seemingly opens up to his victims about his past. First, he says his father cut him in an act of drunken violence. Later, he tells Rachel Dawes that he did it to himself to cheer up his wife. These anecdotes add a skin-crawling personal touch to his acts of depravity and violence. We almost get a third version, but Batman doesn't let him tell it. Though we are curious as to what he would have said in terms of the scare factor, Joker had already achieved the desired effect. Number 5. Saying farewell to his mother. Joker.
You used to tell me that my laugh was a condition, that there was something wrong with me.
Speaking of getting personal, there are few crime scenes more intimate and disturbing than this one. Between Arthur Fleck and Jerome Valeska, these alternative takes on the Joker have a real penchant for matricide. After learning the messy truth about his mother and his parentage, Arthur returns to the hospital where he quietly unloads about his misery. It is a tense moment. His calm demeanor foreshadows something dark and terrible just around the corner. Deeming his tragic life to be a comedy, he then takes his mom's pillow and smothers her to death with it as she struggles. He looks concentrated but not conflicted, and the peace that this horrific act seems to bring him is absolutely haunting. Number 4. Getting even with Randall. Joker.
The cops have been coming around the shop. They're talking to all the guys about those subway murders. And,
They didn't talk to me.
that's because the suspect was a regular-sized person.
Todd Phillips' version of Joker isn't the most socially well-adjusted, and he and his co-workers have a strained relationship. Once Arthur begins his transformation into the Joker, however, he becomes more assertive. And so when Randall comes around asking about the subway murders, Arthur responds by brutally attacking the man without warning. It is a savage and bloody assault, one that leaves Arthur's clown makeup and walls splattered with blood. He lets Gary go as a thanks for his past kindness, but until Gary is safely out of the apartment, the tension is agonizing. And now that he is the Joker, Arthur has fun with it.
You were the only one that was ever nice to me. Yeah.
Number 3. Attacking Barbara Gordon. Batman, The Killing Joke.
Well, I had some really interesting nightmares.
Batman the Killing Joke is among the most influential Joker stories ever told. Thankfully for our purposes, it also got a feature-length animated film adaptation in 2016. In the movie, the Joker has escaped Arkham Asylum and decides to pay a visit to the home of Commissioner Gordon as part of his most recent plot. Unfortunately, it's Barbara, also known as Batgirl, who answers the door. He promptly shoots her, resulting in her paralysis below the waist. Being the sick and twisted monster he is, however, he doesn't stop there. Joker strips Barbara down and photographs her, later using the picture as part of his strategy to torture her father until he goes mad. Both moments are hard to watch, but the assault of Barbara is especially horrifying.
Here's to crime.
Number 2. Interrogating the Batman imitator. The Dark Knight.
I'm a man of my word.
Fun fact, you know the videos that Joker sends out of people he's kidnapped in The Dark Knight? Heath Ledger was given more or less free rein from Christopher Nolan to direct them himself. And armed with that knowledge, we can't help but think that Ledger would have made one heck of a horror film director. With its shaky camera work and macabre setting, the atmosphere and tone are incredibly uncomfortable. When the character starts manhandling his captive, it's enough to make your stomach churn. After using a sickeningly playful voice for much of the video, Joker breaks out into a savage roar, reminding us that he can also be deadly serious. In short, the whole video is pure nightmare fuel.
So you think Batman's made Gotham a better place? Look at me.
Look at me!
So this is just another reminder that we are not including comic book moments. But honestly, I'm surprised this isn't already a top 20 with how many iconic and terrifying moments this character's had on screen. So, which version of the Joker have we deemed to have had the scariest moment? Let's check out the honorable mentions and then we'll find out.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Oh my God. What are you doing in here? You're in the wrong apartment.
Oh, wait! That's it!
What?
Silly me! I forgot the acid!
gonna have some fun now, kiddies.
You're trying to resist the change. That's not fair. Come on, get in. He's over there.
The look on your face when you saw him. Who'd have thought? The big bad Batman, scared of his own reflection.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Live with Murray Franklin, Joker.
So please welcome Joker.
Honestly, outside of explicit horror movies, this might have been one of the most disturbing scenes of any popular film released in 2019. The gunshot itself is sudden, graphic, and absolutely stomach-churning. You know that something terrible is coming long before the shot is fired, and yet that foreknowledge does nothing to diminish its impact when Joker finally pulls the trigger.
Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore.
In fact, this lengthy build-up instead helps to create an oppressive sense of dread and ever-mounting terror, so that by the time Joker is ready to deliver his punchline, the viewer is already horrified. It's a remarkable moment of gritty and grounded horror, one that burns itself into your mind and refuses to fade away.
Good night. And always remember, that's...
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.